Hi there. I hope that you're doing fine. Welcome to another session of Charities Bubble USA, your number one channel. Guys, today we are going to talk about another different topic. This is a question that I'm answering from one of my members. He's a DV 2022 winner. And he asked me, he really needs to know about this. So I have to talk about it, guys, because I tell you guys, when you ask a question, it is my duty to come here and talk about it. This is Charity Nganga. Charities Baba USA, your number one channel. I hope that you have seen my previous video. If you want to join us now, you can join us and become a member of Charities Baba USA, guys. So consider doing that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly consider subscribing. Those of you who have supported me throughout this journey, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for giving my videos a thumbs up. When I see those thumbs up, guys, they really, 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 really make me so happy. They are important because that's the only way that our YouTube is able to show the videos to other places when you give it a thumbs up. So when you just open and you see that there's a new video, please kindly consider just hitting that thumbs up button. It doesn't cost you anything. You just need to click on it. If you haven't subscribed, guys, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. You just need to click on the subscribe button and you're there. I always like to talk about the reason behind this channel for any new member. It's all about US. It's all about USA. That's what I talk about, guys. I just normalize what people always wondered. It's funny that when I was coming to the US, when we were little, and even not even little, even just being in Africa and all that, it was very hard to see white people. Like it was so hard. So if there was a certain Muzungu or a certain white person who was coming to church, everybody like was just eager to see that person because we thought that they were different. But when you come here on the ground, they're just people like us. You know what I mean? And they live the same lives like we do. They are happy like we become happy. They celebrate that we celebrate the way you celebrate. They become sad just like the way we become sad. So there's nothing different. The only difference between whatever that you are in the world is just the culture, because everywhere there's a different culture, and that's what I talk about here in my channel. So guys, there was this question that was asked by one of my members, and he asked me, let me read it. I like to read. He said, hello, Ma, good morning, afternoon, or evening. I have an important question here. Please, if I come to the US with my family on DV lottery green card, and I stayed for 5 or 6 years there and fill for citizenship, will me and my family become citizen at once? I mean, if I become a citizen now, will my wife and children automatically become a US citizen or what? Please, can you do a video concerning this? Because someone told me that children will not be citizen until they are 18 years of age. Now, this is a very important question, especially if you have won your DV lottery and you are preparing to come in. And you'd always wonder what are the dynamics, or like what's the process that goes through. Now, the first thing that we talk about when you have won your DV lottery is the whole process, and then you come and live here in the US. When you come and live here in the US, they will give you a little card. It's like an ID. It's called a green card. Now, that green card will be like your pathway to everything, because even when you go to look for a job, they will require you to show them your green card. If you go to open a bank account, they will require that. That's a very, very important document that you have to really take care of, and just to have with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you get your social and everything, you find that sometimes you will not get a social if you do not have that one. Sometimes it's hard, guys. It's so hard. So it's a very, very important document, and you will have to stay with it for 5 years. Normally, it doesn't tell you that it's exactly at 5 years that you can stay with it, because the green card is supposed to be 10 years. You can stay with it for 10 years. So there is no hurry for you to apply for citizenship, because a citizenship is something that you have sat down and you have been like, I've lived in this country for this time. I've lived for 5 years. I've lived for 6 years. And I feel like I want to become a citizen of this country. And I think that is why they give you that chance for you to be able to live, see the culture, see if you like it and all that stuff. And then you can decide whether you want to become a citizen or not. Now, when you want to become a citizen, what you do is that you just go online and fill a form. Hmm? When you fill out that form, the citizenship form, is the N400. I believe is the N400. When you fill that form, then you submit it. Now, you find that when you become a permanent resident, or you have a family and you have a wife, you find that you have your own green card, your wife has their own green card, and all your kids, everybody has an individual green card. And that is why I told you guys that US, it's individualized, because every you don't carry anybody, you don't carry any individual, whether they're your kids or whatever they are. Those are individuals, so everybody will get their own green card. Hmm? So when you go to apply for the citizenship to fill the N400, you will fill your own by yourself. It doesn't matter whether you are the primary applicant or you are the whatever the beneficiary, you know. So you fill out that form. You can fill out like us. We filled out together with my husband, and then we did the application because the parents have to fill out first. So after you fill out your application first, you will send it. And of course, there's so much documentation that they want you to upload with it. Of course, you'll upload the copy of your green card. You'll upload if you have gotten any tickets. You'll upload that if you have ever been taken to court. We'll upload all that. There's so many stuff that we'll have to upload with that. Then after you have uploaded that, you are going to wait until they call you, because they're going to call you for an for them to go and take your fingerprints. They will call you for that. So you will wait until you get a mail. And that's why I told you that here in the US, we normally use the mail system, the post office, the post office, you know, the way you go and get a letter, a mail. So you'll get a letter. Let me see if I have a letter here on this table. This table has got a lot of stuff, guys. If I showed you the video of this table, it's full of mail. So get a mail, a piece of mail in your whatever, in your mailbox, and then they will tell you the day that you'll go for fingerprinting. Now, after you go for fingerprinting, they will give you a book. This book is a study book that you have to study the history of US, which is very, very important, because there you will have to study 100 questions and know them by your mind. You have to know them. Literally know every question in there, in that book. And then, of course, they will tell you that we are going to call you another time for another interview. So after you have gone, you have studied your book, you can study, you can even go online and look at those questions and read them. And, and just, they are not hard if you study them. There is every exam if you study, it becomes a little bit easier. But if you don't study, of course, it's hard. And here you want to become a US citizen. But when you want to become a US citizen, you really have to work hard to become a US citizen. It's not a joke. You have to work really hard to become a US citizen. So you read that book and make sure that you know every question that is in there. Because when you go there, they will test you on these three things. The first thing that they will test you is the English language. They will give you maybe a sentence. They will tell you to read it. They will tell you to read it to see, do you understand the English language? And then, because you have to understand English language for you to become a US citizen, like that's very paramount. And then, of course, they will give you a pen and they will tell you to write an English sentence. That's still a test. And then from there, you will be asked 10 questions. At that time, you're sitting on, it's just an office that you're going to sit down. Like I remember I just went and sat down in the office, and the person who was interviewing me was on the other side. The officer who was interviewing me was on the other side. So we just sat facing each other on the table, and he was asking me questions. And you find that those questions, he's not going to ask you questions the way they are. He's going to ask you random questions. So that's why you have to know all those 100 questions, and they have to be in your mind. You really, really have to know what you're doing. So after you do your test, then he will tell you whether you have failed or not. You find that normally you're supposed to be asked 10 questions, but if you get 6 correct, he's not going to ask you anymore. Because I remember when I went for mine, I was only asked 6 questions, and I got all of them correct. So he didn't ask me the 7th question. I was done. He told me that I had passed the test. And then he told me to wait for another letter that was going to give an appointment to go to be sworn in, because you have to be sworn in by a judge to become a US citizen. Then the same case, my husband had a different date. I think our dates were different with like a week, I would say. Because now let me see. My husband went before me, and then I went later. Yeah, that's what happened. So he got the same thing. He went, he did his questions, and then they gave him a date. But I remember when we were getting our citizenship, it was during COVID time. So it was kind of, it was a celebration. Yes, it was good that I was feeling good that I was going to be sweared in. But unfortunately, when we were going to the hall, you could only go by yourself. They were not allowing other people. I remember my husband had to wait for me outside when I was going for, even when I went with him. When I went with him, I had to wait outside for him to go and be swear did, and then to come out. So that's how we did it. So we were not able to see the citizenship, like the process. But normally what happens is that you go there, there's a judge who comes in, and you have to be swear, you have to swear that you have become a US citizen, and you're going to forfeit all the other countries and become a US citizen. It's a good thing, guys. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing, because you get to vote. You feel like you're whole because you can vote. You have, it's just so good, guys, to become a US citizen. Now, after you have become a US citizen, automatically your kids will derive that citizenship for you, because you are a citizen. Those are your kids, right? But now, like my son was already 18 years old. So for him, he needed to go and go the same process that like we did. He had to go fill the N400, and then he had to go and have his fingerprints done, and then he had to go for the swearing in. It was still unfortunate that it was still COVID time and he had to go by himself. So I just had to wait there until he was sweared in, which was okay. It's fine. It's fine. Now, my other child, my daughter, because she's now 12, she's gonna be 13, and so what happens is that we just fill a form, and then when you fill the N400 for her, you fill a form for her, then they will tell you the process. But even her is going to be a different one before she gets that passport. But what happens is that when they are minors, when they are below 18 years old, they are not going to be fingerprinted and all that stuff. That doesn't happen. So their process is a little bit different. Now, my other ones that I gave birth here, because I have two that I gave birth here, what I did is I just needed to apply for their passport. That's the only thing that I needed, because them, they didn't have a green card. When they were born, they had a birth certificate. Because they had a birth certificate, that's the only thing that I sent to them. You go to the post office to apply for the passport, and then you send the original birth certificate, and then they get a passport. So the process is not hard, but what happens is that the parents, first of all, they get their citizenship, and then you can do the application for, because I remember asking that consular what I would do with my daughter, because he told me that my son had to do the application, and then my daughter, I still had to apply for her. But if you have kids that were born here in the US, the only thing that you need is their birth certificate to apply for their citizenship. So they don't have to wait until they are 18 years old. No, they do not have to. What happens is that you just need to do an application for them. And you find that when you become a US citizen, even during your interview and all that, keep on asking questions, because those people are very helpful. They will tell you, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do until you get what you need right. But that is how it goes. And there are benefits when you become a US citizen. Like I told you, you can vote. Voting is important. You feel like, yes, that president is there because you voted for them. That president is there because you did not vote for them. All that. Even there's so much that goes on, because even voting for a president is the federal level. We also have the state representatives that we vote for. So you find that it's a good thing, guys. It's a good thing. So I hope that I have answered this question for this member, and I hope that I wish him the best when he starts this journey, when he embarks on this journey to come and live in the US. It's going to be challenging, but at the end of the day, when he sits down 5 years later, when you have become a US citizen, he will be happy and his family will be happy. So guys, thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in another video. Thank you, and God bless you.